expertise from a leading Buddhist thought leader. As an engineer, retired as a director from the Public Works Department of Malaysia. The rank of Community and Security is the chairman of Yayasan Belia Buddhist Malaysia, BMSM, the president of the Malaysian Buddhist Research Society. He is also one of our advisors and one of our former presidents. An engaging bilingual speaker and author of several books on Buddhism, including Dhamma-based leadership. So Choo is a dedicated Dhamma cross-bearer, known for his extensive effort in propagation across Malaysia. Today he will cover two sections, section 1 and section 2. Let's welcome Dato Choo to take the class.
Morning, welcome to recording any like post. Although I have left the leadership of BMSM, my heart has never left BMSM. BMSM has always been like, and I always say, you can leave a Buddhist organization, but don't let your leave Buddhism. Okay? So when you are too old, you cannot do anything, maybe you retire from the Buddhist organization. But you must still be a Buddhist, right? So BMSM is a vehicle. And many of us spend all our time running these vehicles. Okay? So often we hear this from people. People ask, why are you spending all your time? Why are you spending all your time in the Buddhist organization? Why don't you devote your time for self-practice? Right? And there will be people who come and tell you, hey, I want to pop up already. They want to go and practice. When the so-called practice means you want to go to the jungle, find themselves there. That's called personal practice. So sometimes we ourselves also have this conflict. Whether I should spend more time on public service or I should spend more time on my personal practice. So this topic is very particular. Like Brother Wong, who suggested this topic. Now to talk about this topic, I think it's better that we talk from experience. Therefore, I will tell you my stories. Okay? Then we can go into the topic. I have to share with you my experience. Where do I find?
How about that?
So, just to tell you a story, 1972.
I think.
Take time to
continue.
1972. Carry a luggage like the one carried by Mr. Bean. Enter the University Technology Malaysia. And life change. I encountered the UTM or at that time called technical college. You know, when I applied, it was technical college. When I entered, it was called Institute Technology Kebangsaan. When I graduated, it was called University Technology Malaysia. So I entered 3 colleges in University, one shot. Okay. So I carry a bag like this, entered, and then my life changed because of this encountering this very slow encountering Buddhism. So my experience in the UTM BS make you a useful being. okay, the Buddhist society, the university make you a useful being, make you an engineer. But to make you a good being, it has to be the UTM-PS. So UTM, Buddhist society, shaped my life. My maiden public speech, when I was in secondary school, I never speak public. Okay? There was never a monitor or a prefect or things like that. And that's why I feel very grateful to the BMSM and to this society. It's not moving. So realization number one. You can have your own ambitions, you can have your own interests. Ultimately, what happened to us is always conditions. This follow the law of condition, the origination mentioned by the Buddha. Actually, when I was young, I wanted to become a lawyer or become a doctor. Somehow or other become an engineer. Okay, so external conditions have great influence on life. So this one we have to know. Okay. Next. Then from university, because of my encounter in Buddhism in the university, then I moved on to the youth movement. So in the youth movement, I was involved, especially in the BMS youth section. Okay. I was supposed to be the first chairman of the BMS youth section. The founder was people like Charlie Chia and so on. And because Charlie Chia was still in the university, so he made me the chairman. Okay. So I always been asked into the position. When from BMS youth section, I moved on to Young Buddhist Association of Malaysia. Because of my position in the BMS section, I became a vice president of the Young Buddhist Association of Malaysia. And I was involved in various portfolio, Dhammaduta, cultural activities, connection with other youth bodies, even including political parties. People like Lim Guan A, review, I know them to these activities. Then international affairs, government affairs, leadership developments. So actually, I'm an introvert. We go to pick mayor survey, I'm an introvert. But actually, an introvert can acquire the skill of an extrovert. Through BMS, through the youth section, through the youth movement. One thing in the youth movement, come to realize, when you give more, you get more. Create good coming affinity and a better chance of success. When I reflect back my life, I realize that a lot of what I get today is because of what I have invested during my youthful days. So especially young people, you don't have to worry about what will happen later. Yes, everyone invested. So for example, my writing skill, my public speaking skill, they were all acquired through my involvement in the youth movement. And I will get a lot of things done later stage because of my interactions with many other people, with government bodies, with other youth bodies, even with political parties. And that, after 40, I have to be moved up of the youth movement. Then I joined BMSM. Then we have all this hardware development, Samadhi Vihara Shakalam. Then this example, good investment when you were young. When I was young, I was chairman of YBM Selangor. I had a lot of interaction with YB Yap Yen Awan. One day, YB Yap Yen Awan said, there are lands in Shakalam and apply. That's where I wrote it, and that's where we get this place, Samadhi Vihara Shakalam. I wrote it. Okay. because of my interaction with MCA youth at that time. MCA youth leader, YB Yo Tiong Long, became the secretary of Ministry of Wilayah Persekutuan. So one day, he called me. There is a piece of land in Putrajaya. Why don't you just write in? So I wrote in for BMSM. Within less than 2 weeks, the reply came. This piece of land goes to Putrajaya. This is where you are sitting here today. All this shows if you have invested in your good karmic ability, the good result come. At that time, many people say, this piece of land should go to another Buddhist organization. BMSM not so big. Why give them this piece of land? Some noise we heard also. So it's not a matter of you can claim your organization very big. It's a matter of connection. Okay, connection more important. Okay, then BMSM Kajang, Nama Vijaya, and all things when they built. And then, you know what happened? My too much I expected to do. Sometimes you have no choice in the Buddhist youth movement. I come to realize you cannot just pick and choose. You don't like also you have to do. When it's the right thing to do, you have to do. Build temples. Who want to build temples? More difficult task. Luckily, I have my leg to follow up. If I were to follow up with all these things, I always say I'm a small mind. Cannot do big things. So luckily I got a land already. Ask the Dato chief to filing. You can finish the job. Okay. You can get the land, I cannot finish the job. Finish the job. Okay. Then as I move further up, maybe about 50, 60 there, I go into socially engaged Buddhism. We have this NCC, BHST, inter-religious dialogue, and so on. Important realization. No man is an island. We all live in a network of interconnectedness. Sometimes we Buddhists, the Chinese think that we are like living in a vacuum. We always demand what we want. But you go and deal with other people, then you realize all the limitations. Okay? In the multiracial society, better to consult rather than advise. So we deal with many difficult problems. For example, Samadhi Vihara, earlier, the neighbor, Bodhi Park, we started the groundbreaking. Also, they will protest. Okay? And then we were building in the Non-Buddhist Association of Malaysia, we were building the Choo temple. And that place is the year 1990 until 2018. Almost 20 years. All sorts of obstructions, obstacles along the way. So, one thing I realized, after when you look back, everything is nature. Things will change. And if we confront, we may not get what we want. We may get even worse. But we continue to persist, negotiate, call. Finally, something comes through. So I come to realize that actually anicca is something very good. Always give us hope. Okay? And then, when you are too old already, actually I wanted to retire already. But sometimes in the Buddhist circle, you say, you cannot pick and choose, you want to retire, you retire from this boat, people take you in this boat. So I retired from BMSM. The young Buddhists pulled me into Yayasan Buddhist Malaysia. Because of Liao Forming. Liao Forming was then heading the Bodhi Park. Then he said he wanted to look after Putrajaya temple. Nobody looked after the Bodhi Park. So asked this old man to come out. So this old man go and take the Bodhi Park. And then was somehow rather elevated to become the chairman of the Yayasan Buddhist Malaysia. So when I was old already, I was involved in the BMSM, YBPM, then Buddhist Research Society Malaysia, the World Fellowship of Buddhists, and then the International Network of Engaged Buddhists. So these are all the jobs that we are doing. And under the YGBM, now we have built this place. If you go to Samadhi Vihara, you will see this building. Okay, you are welcome to use. The reason Meta, 24-hour Meta, some of the participants will house in this building. And then we had, through the BMSM Buddhist Malaysia, we invested some money with the Umar University, and we set up the Buddha Buddhist Research Center. Okay, we spent quite a lot of money there, about 200,000 or 300,000 now. Okay, and then under the BMSM Buddhist Research Society in Malaysia, we carry out a series of research work. I have no time to elaborate, but research is so very important. Okay, because Buddhist movement can be bottom up, can also be bottom down. Since you can have Buddhist education in secondary school, primary school, and so on, do it from the university. Okay. And then I also entered into the international arena where I was involved in the World Fellowship of Buddhists and the International Network of Engaged Buddhists. Now, why all this international involvement? When you are old already, I say, we just told us, 60而已耳顺 means you just listen. Good or bad, also you listen. You don't judge too much. Okay? And then suddenly you realize that when you look at the world, hey, it's not so too bad. There are some people who have different opinions with yours, but you can accept. You don't have to quarrel and pick, quarrel and pick up problems with other people. And then we say, do as you wish, but don't exceed limit. When you are old already, you feel like sleeping, you sleep long. Okay? You feel like wake up in the middle of the night, you wake up long. But don't exceed limit. Certain things that you should not do, immoral, should not do. Okay? Okay? And through all this international involvement, I come to know, learn more, see more. Very important. Okay, next. And I also come to know, Buddhist development must be comprehensive. Not just be meditation. Cannot just be chanting. Buddhist development has to be a whole package. That's why I spend some time on Buddhist research in Malaysia. Okay? Because that is one area where nobody wants to do. Okay? An area that not so glamorous, but have to invest money. But the world moves because the intellectuals move the world. So you need to invest there. And from all this, I come to realize, especially when I reach 60, I come to realize everything is due to cause and effect. Whatever that you have planted when you were young, when you come of old age, you will realize that it is true. So that's why when people ask me, do you believe in war? Do you believe in cause and effect? I say, when I was young, I believed, but now I don't believe. Why I don't believe? Because I already know. When I know, I don't have to believe now. If I know this fellow is my father, I will say this is my father. I will say I believe he is my father. So that thing, cause and effect, I already know what I believe. You say you believe in God because you don't know God or not, you have and choose to believe in it. Okay? So now I'm coming into personal practice and public work. What is personal practice? Buddhists always think that the most iconic personal practice is meditation. So if you want to become a good Buddhist, spend all your time meditation. Some people think maybe a little bit more chanting. Okay, some people like chanting on. Okay, then they say, oh, I chanted many hours a day, or I sit on the cushion many hours a day. Look, personal practice. Then some people like to do Sankika Dana. What we say done means offering food to the monks. That's why I was saying Kadana, they do it all of fish. Or listen to the Dhamma. It's called personal practice. So how many of you agree all these are personal practice? Okay. All these are the Chinese call Zhao Xu, you know. It is the pattern. You learn all the pattern, you know. It's not the end result. Meditation in Pali is the word bhavana. Bhavana means development of the mind. So develop the mind for what? To get rid of greed, hatred, and delusion. But after meditation, you go around telling everybody mind is the best, then why is not good? There is no meditation. Yeah, some people go around there, I can sit for 30 minutes now. How about yours? I'm not even 5 minutes. Hey, you say, wow, I'm very good already. You think the pattern is the end result, but that is not the end result. Same thing also, some people say, every day I learn Choo, I learn Jing, I learn this, I learn that. But we go around, you still criticize people, you condemn people. The moment you are of that pattern, you are back to the same self again. That's not personal practice. Okay? Real personal practice summed up by the Buddha. Avoid evil, do good, purify the mind. And it is manifested in only 3 ways: through our speech, actions, and thoughts. Okay, you can have all those patterns, but ultimately it's in the speech, actions, and thoughts. So that is personal practice. What about public service? Public service already mentioned by the Buddha. The Buddha mentioned Charata Bhikkave Karika, Vapujana Hitaya, Vapujana Sukhaya, Lokanu Sampaya, Attaya Hitaya, Sukhaya, Deva Manusana. Okay? Ma Ekena Dwa Pitta. That's what the Buddha mentioned when he sent the 60 arahants in 60 directions. So the Buddha mentioned, okay, I get it translated into English. Go bhikkhus for the good of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world, for the good, benefit, and happiness of gods and men. Do not two go in one way. Okay? So just now the translation period, do not go in one way. Okay? When the Buddha mentioned, preach the Dhamma, that is lovely in the beginning, lovely in the middle and end, and complete in meaning and phrasing or words, proclaim the complete holy life. Okay? There are beings whose mental eyes are covered by scarcely any dust, but if the doctrine is not preached to them, they cannot attain salvation. They will understand the doctrine. And I will go also, O bhikkhus, to Uruvelu, to Sena Nigama, in order to preach the doctrine. Uruvelu means today's Putrajaya. You know the Buddha, it's like a modern day business management guru, you know. So if you see the Buddha's public service mission statement is very clear. He talk about the objective. Okay? The objective is not to gain converts, gain numbers for the happiness of the man. Okay? Next, the strategy one, the Buddha got strategy. Let not two go in one way. I too will go to Uruvelu. Strategy. Okay? Next, what's the thing that you want to offer to people? The product, the number. Okay? Then, who are your customer? Customer focus lah. Bees with little dust in their eyes. Some bees with a lot of dust in their eyes. You forget them first. Okay? Even the Buddha said when you train horses, you train the one that you can train. You don't go and train more horses. Okay? Train the one that you can train first. Then after that, you progress gradually. Same thing. So I say, you look at this, the Buddha. Then after that, the Buddha gave a personal example. I too will go to Uruvelu. So those of you who study management, copy down this one. We share your management guru. 2,500 years ago, the Buddha already mentioned about this public service. Now, I hope by now you come to understand. Personal practice and public service are one and the same thing. Okay? Personal practice without public service is an illusion. Okay? Public service without personal practice is dangerous. Why personal practice without public service is an illusion? Venerable Mahinda gave a very simple example. Every day you say no killing, no killing, no killing, but you sit down here, no mosquito, nothing to kill, You go to the forest and meditate, and then you got mosquito coming to you, and then you say, then only you are practicing, okay? So personal practice in a vacuum is very easy. But personal practice must be practiced in an environment where you can practice. But a lot of Buddhists now try to plan ourselves. I want to draw, I will come to one fire corner practice. We don't deny the importance of those retreats. Your whole life retreat, your whole life you're not facing any challenges. What personal practice are we talking about? Okay? But on the other hand, if you have public service without personal practice, dangerous. Why? If we just keep on doing service, we don't look at ourselves, we don't reflect ourselves. First thing, you will drain yourself out. You will not have the energy to go on. Okay? Second thing, because you don't develop yourself, you are actually creating more problems for other people. Okay? Yeah, and sometimes in Buddhist society also, you can have people who come in and create problems. Every day create problems. So there are two important reasons why we need this practice. We need the personal practice to enhance our mental power to face the challenges in the real world. Okay? So, okay. So like I mentioned now, the circle personal practice is in terms of the three aspects of our life: thoughts, speech, and action. So where can we practice? In the river, in public service, when you offer your service to others, then only you can practice. Otherwise, it's just an illusion, it's just a short memory. Okay? Why right thoughts? Because right thoughts make you human being. Animals don't have right thoughts, so they behave wow. Okay? We want to be different from animals. We want to behave like human beings. And like I mentioned just now, we need the right thoughts to the strength to overcome our obstacles and challenges in life. Okay, next. If your thought is powerful, you can do a lot of things. If our thought is small mind, we can achieve very little. One day when we were organizing a Visa celebration, we start open house, tea house, and the mice wonderland. And they give you together with them. We went around. Then he said, we must get 10,000 people here. People like us, scared like 10,000 people, well, get 10,000 people. Actually, less. So, can you say, your mind, how strong it is, how strong you are depends on your mind, which is true, which now I believe is really true. If you intend to have 100 people, usually you will end up maybe at least 10, 50, 10 or 20 or 50. But if you intend to have 1,000 people, it cannot end up at 101. Maybe 400, 300, 500, right? So it depends on how big is our mind, how powerful is our mind. Okay? And if our mind is full of metta, Well, we can take in a lot of things. A lot of things are not obstacles, but challenges. So what thoughts to cultivate? We mentioned very simple. Remember, my mother always says, deal with it. In Buddhism, we always say, 慈悲. Because this is the strength. I can tell you the power of metta. Give you an example. When I was in Malacca, at the time I was only 27 years old, I have 120 workers under me. I have 5 or 6 workers who are what we call problematic workers. Always come to work late one. So standard practice, practice Surah Amaran. My predecessor already gave Surah Amaran. When it comes to they can keep on giving Surah Amaran, our workers don't care. So I thought, we do this at a different way. So, these all workers, they were all antagonistic towards the management one. They all had to challenge the management. So I decided, okay, I'll do it a different way. But invite them to my office. Whenever they are late, come to my office, have a cup of tea. I will belanja them tea. Sit down and talk like friends. Talk about their family, talk about casual things. But never talk about why they are late. So after a time, then they also feel very shy. Then with the time, then I open up and then ask them, why are you late? Then after that, talk about in counseling, you don't suggest. You let them suggest. So how would you like to overcome your problem? There are some of them, they tell me, come late because there's only one bus. If I miss that bus, the next bus, you pay. So of course you must not miss the bus, right? But you have to tell him, you think of your solution, how to overcome it. So after some time, 3 or 6 workers, 3 or 4 improve, no problem already. Because they know the boss is not out to punish me, the boss is out to help me. Metta works for them, they feel okay. Then, of course, they will have some hard knocks and difficult to crack one. You cannot settle all the problems. Then when I got my transfer, to be transferred to another state, then all the workers, they love me so much, they sign a petition to my boss, asking me to be retained in Malacca. Then those who sign the letter, including those hard knocks. Those hard knocks, of course, I won't give them special permission. If you don't comply, eventually I still gave them warning letters, but they still sign the letter. Which means they come to know, actually, it's my mistake, not boss mistake. Boss didn't hate me, but I can't solve my own problem. So this is how metta can work. Metta can solve problems. In our Buddhist circle also, we know the same thing. Okay? Problematic one, you have to invite them for dinner more often, invite them for lunch more often, make friends with them more often. To show that you are not his enemy. Okay? Then when he open up, then we can solve the problem together. Okay? So this metta, karuna, mudita, upekka, all is very important. Mudita, when you see other people successful, you feel joy. But after some time, when you are in the Buddhist circle, you attach to the vehicle you are in. You are BMSM. That fellow is YBAM. That fellow is Huang. That fellow is Fuji. Who cannot see eye to eye. You see another fellow build a temple bigger than you. Tomorrow I want to build another one bigger one. It's always happen in Taiwan. That's why their competition never ends. And Taoist temple in Taiwan also say never ends. Everybody is focusing on the vehicle now, not on the real. If you have metta, happiness, wow, other people successful, you feel very happy, right? That is personal practice. This public service. They are successful. I'm happy. And come to think of it, you get happiness for nothing, You didn't do anything. That developer very smart like hell, Spend days and nights trying to raise one Putrajaya. When you come here, just happy, you see them as happy. 这个好便宜，not know how to do like this lah. Then life becomes so comfortable. And then the last part, to pick up. This is also a very powerful tool. When you have to pick up, people criticize you, just smile. When people praise you, okay lah, nothing much lah. But people praise you, don't feel happy. Sure not lah, it's a bit. People criticize you, condemn you, not happy, say, it's a bit lah. Not up to I on this stage ma. So, but can feel unhappy for a while, can feel happy for a while. After that, say, calm. This is called, in BMSM, called thick skin. Thick skin, not OPK, called thick skin technique. So, we Buddhist leaders have to be like that, quite thick skin one. You go and do a lot of hard work, people criticize you, just like, macam tak tahu saja lah. Correct tak? And if people praise you, thank you very much. Please come and help me lah. Actually, I cannot do alone now. Please come and help. Okay. Next. The idea of this power address our great hatred and delusion. Okay. Next. Mindfulness. Mindful of what we are doing. Okay. Mindfulness, actually, we always think of mindfulness, sitting down, meditation, something there, mind focus. But actually, mindfulness is quite all embracing. Observe, remember, focus. Sati, the original meaning is remember. Okay? If you don't remember, you cannot progress. So Sati means you have to remember, you have to stay focused, and you spend time for reflection. So when we are involved in the public service, then we are so engrossed that eventually we forget what we are doing. It becomes some kind of self-gratification. I do this because people clap. I'm just carrying on like this. So you need to sit down and reflect. What am I doing this for? Is it for self-aggrandization? Or is it I'm doing it to benefit others? Okay, so this is Sati. Mindfulness means also consistent and persistent. Mind consistent and persistent. That's how I remind myself. Even though many a time I feel like I say, enough, I want to retire, like many other people. But I understand one thing. You cannot achieve much unless you do things persistently and consistently. Chinese scholar Fang Li Zhi said, Western science improved tremendously because they always do things consistently and persistently. Oriental science, why we cannot progress much is because we always do one shot and thought, finish, no more already. But I entered University Malaya and I did my master in plasma spray coating. After that, store at the library shelf. 20, 30 years already, nobody follow up, nobody continue. Whereas if you go to a Western university, the lecturer will tell you what to continue. You finish already, the next one will continue. So they continuously persistently do this. So our personal practice is also like that. Our personal practice is like boiling water. You have to consistently and persistently put the fire there. It cannot be you boil, half boil only, you take the kettle away. You listen to the Dhamma, halfway only you stop. You practice meditation, halfway only you stop. That's what most of us do because we are part-time Buddhists. Whenever you go for Dhamma talk, this week cannot go, my auntie's daughter get married. Next week I cannot go, my friend got married. Another week I go traveling. So, supposed to come weekly, really end up once a month. So, the kids never get on, always outside. Okay? And about all these things, I always think that is one important one. Non-attachment to our own thing. Later I'll talk about this when we talk about teamwork. Okay? I got to manage my time. Because I always criticize people for not following the time. not managing my time. So I have to be very careful with myself. You know, when you speak in seminar, usually 3 or 4 speakers. There will be some nasty people who take other people's time. You give them 20 minutes, they will speak 25, 30, half an hour. There was no meta. But you see people try to meta. Okay? Then we talk about, let's talk about mind. Now I talk about actions to cultivate. In the Mangala Sutta is mentioned, Anavajani Kamani Ekam Mangala Mukkama. Blameless actions. Okay? Flawless actions. Why here it doesn't talk about Sila? Sila is another place, Ekam Mangala Mukkama. But why here talk about blameless actions? Because basically the 5 precepts is about guarding ourselves from being fallen to the lower realm. Okay? But in our daily life, it's not only the 5 precepts. I can see most people don't break the 5 precepts, but they break all the minor things. They throw tissue paper into the toilet bowl, frog bowl. Okay? Or they throw rubbish along the highway. Or they put their luggage on top of another chair in the airport waiting lodge. Many people are standing there. They pretend not to know. They put another bag occupied. But this or her bag is very important. These are all what I call anavajana. And I think Buddhists should concentrate on this, not so much about sila, because we got no problem with sila. But we said we got no sila, we don't simply kill you or whatever, many things. But this kind of willful actions are not supposed to do. We come to function late, we delay the full function. This is another example. So actions. And sila means, like these are already mentioned, don't do things that harm others. Sila is really good habit, developing good habits. You know, when you talk about sila, I also mentioned discipline in time, entertainment. A lot of our times are wasted on entertainment, on the handphone. Okay? Luckily, handphone, most of the time you use your so-called time gap. So it's not too bad. Even if you just scroll 1 or 2 hours, it still don't take away much of your time. But you sit in front of the television, 2 hours, 2 hours wasted long. Okay? So this is like Reverend Mahinda used to say, simple living, high thinking. Live simple life. Sometimes we have a lot of complicated, we bring in a lot of complicated things into our life, make our life more miserable. Next one is not to speak. What to speak is very important. First, you must know whom you are speaking to. Wait. There was an old professor in the university. He seldom socialized. He doesn't know how to socialize. So one day he was invited to a social function. Then he asked his fellow professor, what do I do when I go to that kind of function? What shall I do? When his friend advised him, very simple, you just ask her, are you married? How many children you have? Things like that. The old professor went to the function. Then he was sitting down next to a lady. So he asked, are you married? The lady said, no, not married. And how many children you have? So he got slap. So he went back. Then he went back. He talked to his friend. Friend said, you got the sequence wrong. You got to get the sequence right. So another function came. He went there. This night he sat down with another lady. Then he asked, so how many children you have? 2 children. Are you married? So you must know who you talk to. Okay? Talk to. And who you talk to, you must know. Okay? And then there are also ways in which we must choose the right words. You know, I learned a very harsh lesson when I chose the wrong words. In a Buddhist organization, there was a lady, when she reached the age of 55, she was supposed to retire. The government service, you get, when you are about to retire, the public service department give you a letter, perkhidmatan Anda ditamatkan kerana telah mencapai umur secara wajib. So perkhidmatan Anda diwajibkan, ditamatkan. So I got the letter in English, your service is hereby terminated. Because you already achieved your compulsory retirement age. Oh, the lady, was so angry, terminated, fire me. The road brought us to court, Luckily we won. Okay. This choose the wrong word, this. So with this one, we have to learn from politicians. Always choose the right words. Politicians in the past, they always use the word quota. Quota is a means to get things done. Quota is not objective. Objective is inclusiveness. So after about 30 years, the politicians suddenly wake up one morning and say, oh, we change the word. No more quota, we use the word inclusiveness. So you don't realize when come one Malaysia, one Satu Malaysia, that quota words disappear from government documents. Inclusiveness. Sounds better. By this, I'm not talking about anything about quota, I'm talking about inclusiveness. Inclusiveness means there are 80% Malay plus 80% Malay, or even more. Okay? So the choice of the right word is so very important. When Tengku Abdul Rahman met Simping in Bali, they demanded Simping to surrender. If we mati pun tak surrender. So that was 1950s. 56. Then after that, we wait until 1989. At this time, people have grown in wisdom. They debate, finally say, Communist Party say, I cannot accept the word surrender. So finally, they agree to the word, put down arms. Put down arms. So that's what they agree. So finally, side of the document, you see, just because words cannot choose the right words. So when we speak, we have to be very careful with the right choice of words. And also the environment, the way you talk. See, my son one day was young. After Form 5, he went to shopping center for the work. Every night, 11 o'clock, come back. Then one day, we decided to pay him a surprise visit at his shopping mall there. He went there, he was not there. He actually, the day he didn't go to work, he went for a show. Oh, his son is laughing us. So if he come back, we start scolding him and all things, things come worse. So, why? When you come back at night, but you go, I work in the shop now. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, come to my room, we are coming to talk to you. Give him suspend for one night. And so when you want to punish your worker, I got something, don't tell him straight away. Tell him, come 24 hours later, come to my room to talk to you. Let him think about it. So he came, morning he came there, after that we talked to him. First thing we say, you are good side, you work hard, and all things. After that, but we know we made a mistake. Then after that, he apologized, make a mistake. After that, we asked him, how should you want to overcome the problem? He promised problem. After that, we help each other. That's it. Okay. This is called 1 minute management. Okay, we don't have to buy that book. 1 minute management. No need to that whole day. Okay. And the worst part is some parents they never concentrate on the person they are talking with. They are cooking in the kitchen. It's people listen to you, man. You are talking to your colleague, playing games there. Hey, you do your homework. It's like speaking is very, and a lot of problems arises because of speaking. Okay, next. Okay, next. Okay, to serve. You know, to serve is to do action, to be able to come to that's not right. So thoughts, speech, the last one, actions. So I use the word to serve. Always think in terms of it's your good karma, you full power. That's why you can come here. Okay. There are thousands and millions of people in Malaysia. Why only you can serve in BMSM? Nothing like that. Good karma, only you got time to serve. Next. And always think of what can I do, not what can I gain. Don't worry about what you can do or what can I gain. What can I gain? Because when you do, you gain. Okay? But when you put the other way around, you think of what you gain, you may not get anything. Okay? Because when you do, you gain. Because it is the law of karma. When I went out the country giving Dhamma talk, I polished my own public speaking skill, Hey, you gain, But if I start going around and before I go there, I start saying, what do I get? What do you give me? People won't bother you. Okay? So you serve, you already gain. So think of this. To serve is your privilege. Next. And don't ask why. Why me? You know, in our company, establishment, there are a lot of people who like, why me? Why me? I say, why you? Because you are the best. Okay. My granddaughter, you do this. Why me? I said, because I love you the most. Okay. Then the worst part is, people who say, why me? In a company, like it or not, you still have to do, So why not you just do happily? Why you choose to do unhappily? Happily or not happily, you still have to do. Why not you choose happily do it? Then you get something, and you get happiness. Right now. So you see, do it very clever, right now. Number next one is that don't be afraid of difficulty. You know, when we do our personal practice in this serving the community and also one big problem, fear of big things, difficult things. Next. Okay. Some people say, don't do so many things. The more things you do, the more problems you have. Then 多做错，少做，不做。But you must understand, if you don't do anything, you got nothing. So you must have the ambition, the vow, the wish to do things. Okay, at least you get something, okay? I say, don't be afraid of problems, be afraid of development. There are a lot of problems when we serve the community. A lot of problems we face. Don't let irritation and delusion arise. That's all. You still have to solve your problem. Okay? And sometimes we are afraid to do because we are afraid of failure. Okay? So I say, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is capacity to go on despite fear. If you are not afraid of fear, because you don't know, then you are like Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean don't know fear, simply go and become like hero like that. Why? Because he was stupid. But if you really knowing there's a danger, it's a challenge, you still do it, that's called courage. So as Buddhist leaders, you need to have courage. We need to have courage. Don't come to a meeting, sit down, everybody discuss what cannot be done, what cannot be done. This whoever say one. Then my committee members always come and sit down and then they decided this cannot be done, that cannot be done, that cannot be done. Okay. Maybe a different. You know, always remember, people do difficult things. So all of you need to become great people. Do difficult things. Okay? Another 500,000, no problem. Can get it done. Next. Okay. Face challenges. Because challenges give us results. You know, horse flies. When horse flies attack the horse run very ferociously, work very well. When there's no horse fight attacking the horse becomes very lazy one. So don't simply kill the horse life. Those who ride horses purposely want to have some horse life to keep the horse going. So our life is like that. You think you come to BMSM just simply enjoy only, easy only. must have a lot of difficulties, a lot of horse life. Then you can do things, okay? And don't think of action, do great things, small things. These are all the publications that I've done. Because actually, I never thought of life, writing. From young, I never thought of myself doing all these things. But you can accumulate small things, you accumulate. After some time, become big. So don't think of small things. I don't think that things are too small for you. Okay? Don't think. Next. Put your mental power to work. Using this, you have the heart to work. A lot of us got this, that's why you are here. But that's not enough. Do it with dedication. Do it with some kind of zeal, some enthusiasm. Do it well. Then you can appreciate your own work. Others can appreciate your own work. And do it happily. I'm going to do it just because your talking asked me to do one. Actually, I don't want to do. Filing asked me to do one. Actually, she take trouble one now. Okay, do happily. Okay, next. Always think of this. Don't think too great of yourself. Don't think that you are serving others. Because in Buddhism, often you are serving others because you are serving yourself. You are serving yourself so that you can serve others. It's always together. You think I come here and serve you all? I serve myself. Okay, so while talking to you, I'm benefiting myself. So next. So always serve with a sense of gratitude, not with a sense of sacrifice. A lot of people say, I sacrifice so much time, I sacrifice my energy, I sacrifice the money. Sometimes I say, it's all the full power. My good karma that I can sacrifice some time. My good karma that I can give away some money, that donate some money. Okay? So it is not a sacrifice. You do it out of gratitude. Because many people have benefited me. Now it's my turn to benefit others. So remember, always serve with gratitude and you'll be very happy. Okay? Okay, next. Okay, I think time is up already. So other things we don't talk. Keep to my time is more important. Okay, roughly, so this is what I want to share with you today. Personal practice. I can jump to the conclusion. Service is part and parcel of our personal practice. Okay? The best form of personal practice is to serve the public. Servicing the public is an opportunity to cultivate a speech, action. Okay, with that, I end my talk here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dato. Now we have our break. Back. So we break at 10:35. So we come back at 10:50. Please practice your metta to be here faster. Okay, before you go, there are some cookies and sweets at the side. You can take it whenever you like. And then you also prepare some kueh and tea at back. Okay, so make sure come back at 10:50. Okay. And also, you need Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi password is 876 8 Sorry, you may.
We will send it. I think, we will send it.
Yeah, I think that one. แต่ว่าตอนสอบศึกษาไม่ใช่สิ่งที่เราเอาสิ่งใด
Yeah, because sharing.
呀，
屁股六七的还有出他的身份证，他的
thank you so
哪一个？这边是。就是然后这边跳跳就来到起了，一开始的时候啊，看那个，maybe it's the distance. Yeah, it's quite a longer distance. Nó đẹp tech này, đẹp tech rồi cái ở đây sẽ nên là